DiJonai Carrington is looking around the room like, oh my God, I've never been in this much fire. I mean, it's getting so bad that now her endorsements are potentially about to pull out on representing DiJonai Carrington.
This just goes to show that DiJonai has no self-awareness in what's going on. DiJonai Carrington runs on threads immediately. White privilege at Indiana Fever. White privilege. You running around with blonde hair. It looked like you trying to be white. It looked like you trying to be a white girl. What are you talking about, white privilege? The white girl just got a technical foul for something she didn't even do. What are you talking about, white privilege, bro? This is why she should be banned from the league. They always run.
It states here, Reebok is reportedly dropping their endorsement for DiJonai Carrington after she attacked Sophie Cunningham. Let's go.
Something is happening around DiJonai Carrington that has WNBA fans talking nonstop, and it all goes back to one controversial moment involving Sophie Cunningham. What happened on the court wasn't just another physical play that disappeared after the final whistle. The moment was caught on camera. Fans immediately reacted, and within hours, social media turned it into one of the biggest conversations surrounding the WNBA. But now there's another layer to the story. Online discussions are claiming that Carrington could face consequences beyond the basketball court, including speculation about her relationship with Reebok. And that's where we need to slow down for a second, because there's a huge difference between what fans are saying online and what has actually been confirmed. Still, the reaction has been massive. Carrington has found herself at the center of criticism from fans who believe the foul on Cunningham crossed the line. On the other side, there are people defending Carrington and arguing that emotions are getting out of control and that one basketball play shouldn't define an entire athlete. And that's exactly why the story has become so explosive. Because this isn't just about one foul anymore. It's about player rivalries, fan reactions, sponsorship pressure, social media outrage, and the enormous spotlight now surrounding every controversial moment in women's basketball. And trust me, this story gets even more complicated from here.
Did y'all see what happened when this young lady got ejected from a WNBA game the other day for a flagrant foul on Sophie Cunningham? Did y'all see that? She got ejected from the game for that flagrant foul right there. And I'll be damned if that wasn't a flagrant too. She mugged her. Damn near came across like decapitating her, for crying out loud. That was definitely a hard foul. Make no mistake about it. Nobody can argue about it. You can say what you want. We know what we saw. No way around it. The DiJonai Carrington foul was clearly unnecessary. It was a flagrant foul penalty too. It was absolutely positively correct call. It was called the flagrant two. That's a flagrant two every single damn time in the NBA and the WNBA.
DiJonai Carrington tweeted out white privilege from the locker room of a game that she was playing in. Get this, she fouled Sophie Cunningham hard. Sophie Cunningham, obviously a white person, fouled her hard. Flagrant two, gets ejected, goes to the locker room and tweets out white privilege in the middle of the game. Now here's the kicker to me. A flagrant two has to be contact that can lead to an injury that looks excessive. DiJonai, it was about as excessive as possible. If there was any evidence of there being white privilege, this was not it.
Let's go back to where all of this started. The confrontation involving Sophie Cunningham and DiJonai Carrington immediately caught people's attention because of how physical the play looked in real time. Cunningham went down, players reacted, and suddenly everyone had an opinion. Was it a normal, aggressive basketball play? Was it unnecessary contact? Did the situation go too far? Those questions started spreading across social media almost instantly. And once the replay clips began circulating, the discussion became even louder. That's something we see constantly in modern sports. A moment that lasts only a few seconds can be replayed thousands of times, slowed down, analyzed from every possible angle, and turned into a completely different conversation. That's exactly what happened here. Fans started debating Carrington's intentions. Others focused on Cunningham's reaction. Some criticized the officiating. And before long, people were bringing other players, teams, and even sponsors into the conversation. That's when the story moved beyond basketball. Because once a player's name becomes attached to a viral controversy, brands can suddenly become part of the discussion too. And that's why the Reebok speculation started getting so much attention. But here's the important part. Viral posts and fan claims aren't automatically official news. Unless Reebok or Carrington confirms a change to their relationship, viewers should treat those claims as speculation. Still, the fact that people are even discussing it shows just how big this controversy has become.
I would actually say that this is black privilege, to be totally honest with you, because her posting this white racist comment right after assaulting Sophie Cunningham on the court is actually black privilege, because she knows the WNBA won't do a single thing of significance about it. And imagine if the roles were reversed. If Sophie made a comment similar to this, then she'd likely never play again. And actually, we just saw this from Coach Sandy Brondello. She got disciplined for making, I believe, a pretty innocent, maybe, offhand comment about talking about Angel Reese and saying that she's a protected species. She was suspended and disciplined. And I think if that's the standard, then DiJonai should be too.
I'm just wondering, is this all some sort of bizarre PR strategy to attract eyeballs, or is the WNBA fundamentally broken?
No. That's you, because you're a good person trying to find some kind of rational reason for doing this other than what it is. It's pure and simple racism and hate. They're mad that the best player in the league is a heterosexual white woman. Let's just be honest. She's not one of the confidants in their creed. And so therefore it's been a concentrated effort to go after her. Even her head coach doesn't stand by. So, and I think it's hilarious, and at the same time, they don't know what a woman is. And I'm very proud of Freedom and the other gentlemen for finding out who they are. And I wish them the best. And hopefully the league will, since it's an all tolerant league and their head coaches wear shirts about trans women count. Well, here's two. And I hope they give them their opportunity, and the young lady in France as well. So I think it's a league that has got away with being racist and disgusting to people, and now they're Americans are smart to it. So hopefully they get some of their own, but I wouldn't let my daughters watch it.
Now let's talk about the part that has probably generated the most headlines. Reebok. Whenever an athlete becomes involved in a major controversy, fans immediately start asking whether sponsors are going to react. This happened across sports for years. Brands invest in athletes because athletes represent more than just their performance. They're also public figures, personalities, and recognizable faces connected to millions of fans. So when a controversial moment starts dominating the internet, people naturally wonder whether a sponsor will step in. That's exactly what's happening with Carrington. But again, there's a major distinction between online speculation and an official decision. Right now, the internet can make almost anything look official. One post gets shared, another account repeats it, then another video turns the claim into a headline. And suddenly thousands of people believe a decision has already been made, even when there hasn't been an official announcement. That's why this story needs to be approached carefully. The controversy surrounding Carrington is real. The backlash is real. The debate surrounding the Cunningham incident is definitely real. But claims about a canceled or terminated Reebok deal need confirmation before they can be treated as fact. And honestly, that uncertainty is part of what makes this entire situation so fascinating. Because if Reebok does make an official statement, the conversation could change completely. And if no such action happens, the online narrative could look very different a few days from now.
But if we are paying attention to what DiJonai Carrington did to Sophie Cunningham, it was not a race-based decision. And to call that a white privilege-based foul is to completely undermine the term of white privilege, and to also completely ignore the rules in basketball. You hit her in the head, you drew blood, you didn't connect with the ball at all whatsoever. So to me, it was just very ignorant and to some degree asinine by DiJonai Carrington to suggest that that call was based on white privilege. Have we seen examples of white players make that same foul and get away with it? Yes. Have we seen examples of black players make that same foul and get away with it? Yes. There was no white privilege involved in that specific call. DiJonai, you hit her in the head and you drew blood.
What makes this situation even bigger is the reaction from WNBA fans. The league has never had this level of constant social media attention. Every game is being watched. Every hard foul is being clipped. Every player reaction can become a headline. And every controversial moment can trigger arguments that continue long after the game ends. That's exactly what we're seeing here. Fans are split. Some believe Carrington deserves criticism for the play involving Cunningham. Others believe the criticism has gone too far and that athletes shouldn't be judged entirely by one controversial moment. And then there are fans who think the entire situation has been amplified because of existing tensions between different WNBA fan bases. That's the part people sometimes forget. Sports rivalries aren't just happening on the court anymore. They're happening on social media, in comment sections, on podcasts, and across thousands of posts every single day. So when one controversial play happens, it doesn't stay inside the arena. It becomes content. It becomes debate. It becomes a trending topic. and eventually it can become part of an athlete's public image. For Carrington, that's the challenge right now. The more people talk about the incident, the harder it becomes for the story to disappear. And whether you support her or criticize her, one thing is undeniable. This controversy has become much bigger than the original play.
Every single game for the rest of the season counts. And the fact that she let her hate and her ego cost the game for her entire team is so toxic. It goes to show that she has very little respect for her teammates because they all work their absolute asses off. They've all got something to prove. They know that, they started the season with all this hype. They didn't kick it off very strong. And so they have all been working their asses off, coming together, playing patiently. When I say patiently, they've been playing patiently, learning how to actually run the court together. There's a lot of new pieces. There's been some injuries. There's been people returning from injury. There's been a lot of changes. The fact that they were just on the rise, and as a Fever fan, I can say they were actually schooling us in the first quarter. They came back when we were up 8 points. DiJonai herself was balling out, and she just cost the game for her teammate.
Imagine being an athlete and realizing that one moment from a basketball game is suddenly being discussed by people who weren't even watching the full game. That's the reality DiJonai Carrington is dealing with right now. The internet doesn't always remember context. It remembers the clip, it remembers the headline, and it remembers whichever version of the story gets the most attention. That's why controversies like this can become so difficult for athletes. Carrington now has to deal with criticism from fans, constant discussion about the Cunningham incident, and speculation about what the controversy could mean for her image away from basketball. At the same time, Cunningham has become a major part of the conversation as fans continue debating what happened. And this is where the situation becomes bigger than either player. It becomes a conversation about how physical the WNBA should be. Where should officials draw the line? How much contact is acceptable? And when does competitive intensity become something more serious? Those are legitimate questions, but social media often wants a simple answer. One player must be right. The other player must be wrong. Someone has to be blamed. Someone has to apologize. And someone has to pay a price. Real sports situations are usually much more complicated than that. And until official statements come out, fans should be careful about treating every viral claim as confirmed information, because the next headline could completely change the story.
She posted white privilege after getting tossed from the game, but says it wasn't about the foul. Can you explain this?
No, I can't. When she tweeted white privilege, she did it so quickly, it was almost as though she had the phone in her pocket after this foul and she got ejected. So, to say she wasn't referring to this play or getting kicked out and saying that the only reason she got kicked out and it got upgraded is because Sophie Cunningham is white is crazy. It was a crazy thing to tweet, maybe crazier than to try to act like it had nothing to do with the play. So I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't think anybody can have any idea what she's talking about.
My God, it's getting real. It is getting very much real for in the field, for them pockets. That's what I like to see. Pockets getting hit hard, bro. Hard. Because somebody need to hold these players accountable for the stupidity they have been putting out. Because it has been a lot of stupidity. And to add even more insult to injury, thousands of people are calling for Reebok to drop their endorsement for DiJonai Carrington after she attacked Sophie Cunningham. Now, this was from earlier this morning.
So now we come to the biggest question. Did DiJonai Carrington really lose everything because of the Sophie Cunningham controversy? The answer right now is not that simple. There is clearly a major backlash surrounding the incident. There is clearly intense discussion about Carrington, Cunningham, and the physicality of the play. And there is definitely online speculation about what this could mean for Carrington's relationship with Reebok. But speculation is not confirmation. Until the player, the brand, or another credible official source confirms a sponsorship change, nobody should treat a viral claim as established fact. What we can say is that this controversy has once again shown just how powerful the WNBA spotlight has become. A single play can dominate social media. A single replay can create thousands of opinions. And a single controversy can suddenly become a national sports story. That's the new reality of women's basketball. And if an official announcement from Reebok or Carrington does happen, expect this story to explode all over again. Because right now, the basketball world isn't just watching what happens between the lines. They're watching what happens next. And that's why this Carrington-Cunningham controversy may not be over yet.